In this video, we continue our work with finding linear equations, and we have this next word problem, which states that a candy company has a machine that produces candy canes. The number of candy canes produced depends on the amount of time the machine has been operating. The machine produces 196 candy canes in 4 minutes. In 12 minutes, the machine can produce 588 candy canes. Determine a linear equation to represent this situation. Let n represent the number of candy canes produced in t minutes. So let's go ahead and define our variables. Which of those two variables do you think is the input variable? Which variable depends on the other? Yes, t is our input variable because n, the number of candy canes produced, is dependent on how many minutes the machine has been working, right? So it's depending on time. So let t be the number of minutes the machine operates. It's our input variable. And then let n represent the number of candy canes produced in t minutes. So the number of candy canes produced. And that's our output variable. And we need to describe or relate these two variables using a linear equation. So what information are we given? Going back to the original problem, we are told that the machine produces 196 candy canes in 4 minutes. So that's an order pair, isn't it? That would be, and remember, our order pairs are going to look like this: time and then number of candy canes. So we're given 4 minutes produces 196 canes. So there's one order pair. Then we know that in 12 minutes the machine produces 588 candy canes. So our second order pair will be 12, 588. And we're going to use those 2 points to find the slope. So m equals, and again, we usually label these, and forgive me for labeling them with x's and y's when we're using t's and n's, but it's only because that's how we have learned our slope formula, right? So the difference of the y's, or the difference of the outputs, would be 588 minus 196, and the difference of the inputs, or those x's that I have labeled there, would be 12 minus 4. And then we're going to simplify that, and we get 392 divided by 8, which gives us 49. And that tells us that the machine is producing 49 candy canes each minute. Because remember, the slope is a rate, and our output is number of candy canes, and our input is minutes, or time. So 49 canes per minute is the slope. Now, what's the equation of the line? Well, let's use our point slope form again, which you remember is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And we get to use either order pair. And let's go ahead and use the one with the smaller numbers, and we'll use our new slope that we just found. And so we're going to write, but instead of y and x, I'm going to write n and t. So I have n minus 196 equals 49 times t minus 4. And now we're going to get that in slope-intercept form, so we'll distribute the 49. And so we get n minus 196 equals 49t minus 196, which is kind of handy, because now when I add this 196 to move it over, I get n equals 49t. So there's our linear equation, n equals 49t. And let's use it to see here. What does it say? Part B says, in how many minutes can the machine produce 735 candy canes? So that means that we know n, don't we? We know the number of candy canes. That's given, that's n. And we're looking for how many minutes, so we're looking for t. So find t. So my equation was n equals 49t. So I'm going to substitute 735 equals 49t, and we're going to divide by 49 to find the time. And that is equal to 15. So t equals 15. So conclusion statement is to produce 735 candy canes, it takes 15 minutes. Okay, so that's B, but then Problem C says, how many candy canes can the machine produce in 4 hours? Oh, okay, let's think about that. Well, here's our equation, n equals 49t. We're looking for how many candy canes, so we're definitely looking for an n there. And it's giving us time in 4 hours, but that's not quite t, is it? Because how are we measuring the time t? Let's go back and look at our variable definitions. So here I am back in part A where we defined our variables. Remember, I told you that's a good idea to do. T is number of minutes that the machine operates. So we're going to have to turn those 4 hours into minutes if we're going to use that equation. See? So it's good to check that. So we need 4 hours changed to minutes. So how do we figure out minutes? We multiply 4 times 60, right? 60 minutes in an hour. So that's 240 minutes. So before we get a chance to use our equation, we need to make sure that our input is in the correct units. And so now we need 240 here and multiply 49 times 240. And so we get n equals 11,760 candy canes produced in 4 hours. Good job.